So today what I wanted to talk about was how in the HOA resale document world, which is the world that we're in, our competitors are overcharging for the documents, are overcharging the document buyers. So we've seen this going on for years. We see it going back to lawsuits as far back as 2015 in several states. Our competitors have been sued for overcharging. And I've seen lawsuits in 2015 all the way through as recently as January of 2022. Specifically for overcharging. It's ridiculous. So we see in some states, they actually have laws regarding that. So in 2015 in California, they changed the law. And what they did was they added this verbiage that says, bundling of documents required to be provided pursuant to this section with other documents relating to the transaction is prohibited. In other words, the bundling of the required documents with other documents is prohibited. Well, there's only one company in our industry that uses that term bundling. That's HomeWise Docs. So clearly, this law was done because the way they were bundling their packages.
So a law tailored to a company specific.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
And that's not the only one. We also saw in Nevada in 2021 where they added a section, and it says in that Nevada law that you cannot charge. By the way, it's any entity relating to or acting on behalf of the association, which would include us
yeah.
as the resale document providers.
For sure.
We cannot charge any fees that are not authorized in this section or which exceed the amount set forth in this section. So if we were to charge a fee that was more than what's allowed there, that's illegal.
Maybe just a convenience fee to compensate some of the merchant fees we experience through credit card accepting,
Exactly.
which is pretty much 100% of how things are paid online. So
Right.
if we wanted to kind of push that cost on, we could have an extra fee called a service charge, and that would be an extra fee that would be on top of, is what you're saying.
You would think so, but this law specifically says that we can't
do
because
that.
it's not authorized here.
And if I did it, I would be, let me be clear, I wouldn't be breaking the law. The manager would be breaking the law that is regulated and licensed in the state of Nevada.
Well, what a great segue into talking about the Nevada law specifically. So in Nevada, you're absolutely right. We as the document providers are not regulated at all. Mm-mm. However, who is regulated in this law pertains to the association or its representative, which is not just specifically the management company, but the manager.
The management company is licensed?
The management company is not licensed.
So who would lose? And what would they lose?
The manager would be sued.
And they'd lose their possibly lose their license?
Could lose their license.
Fined?
Absolutely.
How much?
Well, what we've seen is, let's say, for example, if the management company's charging $185 for the documents, and the provider puts their $30 fee on top of that, and then their $10 convenience fee on top of that. So now instead of $185, which is what the management company is charging for the documents, the doc buyer's paying an extra $40, right? So to answer your question it depends on how the ombudsman, or if it was a lawsuit, how they would handle this, because they could literally go back and say, since this law was put into effect in 2021, for the last 2 years, how many transactions have you done where people were overcharged $40?
Right.
And you need to pay back all of those people who were overcharged those $40.
The possibility is that they could go that far back, right? Not that they would, but they could.
Sure.
And there's precedent.
Absolutely.
They've done it before.
Yeah. And so the reason we say that this law was put in place for that is because this is something we've been talking about. Obviously, we've been doing business in Nevada for 20 years. And in those 20 years, we've had this Nevada revised statute that said there's a set amount that you can charge for these documents. And we've always included our fee as part of that, in that limit.
Which is kind of the right way to do it.
It's definitely the right way to do it, but it was, until 2021, it was questionable. It was like, well, could we put our fees on top? We can, we can't, we're not sure. We just, with our clients, chose never to do that. We didn't want to put anyone at risk. Our clients always said, hey, I don't want the ombudsman's office coming down on me. They said, I don't want to be the test case. It's not worth an extra $5-10 to, have that risk. And so that was just the road that we've always taken, was our fee is going to be included. So what our competitors have done is they've taken the road of, well, we can put our fee on top. And so they'll charge whatever the maximum fee is. So like I said, 185, which was the maximum fee back in 2021 for the resale package. They'll say, we'll take $185 and then we'll put our fee on top. And so because of this new law, that's why this law was written, because their fee can't be on top. That's specifically, I mean, when you read it, that's specifically what it's saying.
So no bundling in California, because they were bundling, and they specifically called it bundling. And the knee-jerk reaction to changing a law was to use the word they wanted to regulate the thing that was happening.
Right.
Same thing here. No lawsuit yet. Could be, maybe. Maybe a lawyer will catch wind of this in a year or two, and maybe they'll do something about it, like they did in other states, right?
Yeah.
So what states have they done it in?
So we've seen lawsuits, and we could talk about these in a future video, but we've seen lawsuits in Illinois, specifically Illinois and North Carolina, where they were sued as a class action lawsuit. Or the worst part about this is, for the management company, is when they get sued, the plaintiff in the case is going to sue. They look at the document process as not only the person that paid or that they bought the documents from, but also the management company. So what we see in these other states is that the management company is being named also in the lawsuit.
Oh, they'll name everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
So now that's creating a liability for the management company.
Yeah.
And then they have to pay for their defense.
Maybe they have E&O's insurance.
You always got to bring insurance into it.
I do.
Yep.
It's to cover you a little bit in this kind of stuff.
Well,
but this is the malpractice that goes on. The law changes and you don't change to meet it.
Right.
Or you don't know that someone else, a third party, is breaking it. Oh, you're forgiven. Or you know they're doing it and you just don't care. I wonder which one of those these people are being. Do they know, or is ignorance taking over?
I don't think ignorance is an excuse for not following the law.
I kind of agree too.